It's the one he wants from Maldonado. The 0-2 is lined to first and caught by a rise. And the game is over. The Padres win it.
Welcome into a Monday night Sportsphone KNBR show. My name is Bill Laskey. I'll be hosting the Spirited Show for the next couple hours, and I think all Giant fans as well as analysts are still scratching our head how the Giants lost this game 1-0. Their seventh shutout this season. The Giants have not scored they've scored 4 runs or fewer in 15 consecutive games. 4 runs or fewer in the last 15 consecutive games. They went on the road trip. They finished 4-5. They scored 18 runs in those 9 games. The opposition scored 18 runs also. Today, Logan Webb put it on his back. He wanted this win badly as they started a 7-game homestand, 4 against the Padres, 3 against the Braves, and the Webb gem was wasted. 8 innings, 6 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. He threw his tail off out there. 102 pitches, 71 for strikes. Everything worked for Logan Webb today. But the Giants couldn't muster 1 run, not even in the 10th inning when they had the ghost runner on second base. A couple balls hit hard right at third and right at first. The Giants walk away from the first game of a homestand with a loss 1-0 with that ghost run, an unearned run, as the winning run. San Diego comes in here with 33 wins and 24 losses. The Giants were 33-26. And when you looked at the comparisons, these two teams were equal pretty much. San Diego had a better batting average. The Giants had scored more runs. You look on the pitching side, of course the Giants pitching is number 3 overall in Major League Baseball, number 1 out of the bullpen with a 2.4 earned run average. The Giants once again could not get that key hit. The best opportunity was in that second inning. A free rally the Padres gave them with a walk, a hits batsman, another walk, bases loaded with nobody out, a ground ball to third, forces the play at home. And then right after that, a 5-4-3 double play. And the Giants were scratching their head walking off that diamond with no runs after they had bases loaded and no outs. In the 6th inning, they had an opportunity when Jung-Hoo Lee stole second base. Ended up Chapman striking out, and Gerard Encarnacion had an opportunity, but he didn't do anything but a ground ball to shortstop. They had first, second, and third in the 7th inning when Jung-Hoo Lee came up and punched out to end the inning. In the 8th inning, once again, they had first and third, and they ended up striking out 3 times in the 8th inning. And they had an opportunity once again in the 10th inning with a runner on third base after the sacrifice by Koss and a bullet by Chapman to third, and Encarnacion hit a bullet to first, and the game was over. What a great pitching performance by the San Francisco Giants once again. Logan Webb going 8 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs. Randy Rodriguez coming in there throwing 13 pitches, 12 for strikes. He goes 1 inning, punches out 2. Even Ryan Walker went 1 inning, didn't give up a hit, 1-2-3. They laid down a bunt, got him over to third, and a fly ball to center field, scored the run. So what, Giants fans, are they going to have to do with the offense? I'm going to repeat this again. 4 runs or fewer from the offense in 15 consecutive games. 18 runs the offense have scored in the last 10 games. This is something that's consistent. It can continue. The Giants need to do something. Today, they optioned Luis Matos down to AAA. He hit a 3-run home run yesterday for them to win. They brought up Gerard Encarnacion, and he was looking terrible with breaking balls today. He's going to have to get ready for those big league pitchers. AAA pitchers are not like this at the big league level. So the Giants fans scratched their head once again with a 1-0 loss. Their 7th shutout of the season. They got shut out 1-0 this past Saturday in Miami with a great pitching performance by Robbie Ray. The pitchers are dynamite. The offense stinks. 808 KNBR. Let's get the phone lines rolling. Let's talk about what you would do if you were the GM, if you were Buster Posey. What could this Giants team do? It's too early to trade. Nobody's going to help you, but they got to do something. It's got to happen. I'm Bill Laskey. This is Sportsphone KNBR. We'll be back with your phone calls right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.
combination, we've been frustrated for a while, but the combination of hitting some balls hard and then having nothing to show for it, when we were up against it, a really good closer, actually a really good bullpen late in the game, to have our best at bats, so that just kind of adds to the frustration.
Back on Sportsphone KNBR on a Monday night with Bill Laskey. Giants lose a heartbreaker 1-0 to the San Diego Padres in 10 innings. 12 runners were left on base, and Logan Webb was a Webb gem, no question about that. He put it on his back. He had a couple bad starts. Against Kansas City was one of them, and then the last one in Detroit, it was just a struggle for him. But today, everything was working. The sinker, the sweeper, the changeup. Everything was on point for him today. No walks, 7 strikeouts against a Padre team that he had struggled with. Of course, he lost earlier in the year in San Diego, but today the slider, or the sweeper as he calls it, came out to life with 41 of them, 34 sinkers, nibbling that outside corner. Punched out Fernando Tatis twice with pitches right on the outside corner. He ended up only giving up 6 hits. 3 of those were infield hits. 2 doubles and just a plain old base hit. Everything was Logan Webb. That was the ace. In the post-game remarks, he said, no worries. We're not worried. We're just frustrated. He said, we've had a lot of lower points in the past few years. We'll get this together. Bob Melvin was talking about hard contact, but the Giants just are not scoring runs. The pitching has been phenomenal. Will Buster Posey trade some of this pitching for a hitter? We'll find out. Everything's going to be run. They're on a homestand right now. 4 against San Diego, 3 against Atlanta. Some names that are just being thrown out there. Dominic Smith just took a release from the Yankees. Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles. Rhys Hoskins from Milwaukee. But these are just names out there. Dominic Smith probably is the only one that could possibly get picked up. He took his release. He's got 34 home runs in the big leagues with the Mets and the Yankees. He's been around a little bit. What can the Giants do? This is going to be a big question mark as the homestand continues. The board is lit up. Let's start lighting up these phone lines. Let's go to Tony. He was at the game today. Tony, you're on a Spirited Sports Phone KNBR Monday night. How are you?
How's it going, Bill?
Well, I think I'm frustrated just like all Giants fans. We saw a gem by Logan Webb. We saw a gem by Robbie Ray, and they lose 1-0. The pitching isn't the problem. Hitting is number one.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think Webb's got the Matt Cain curse right now. He goes out there and throws another strong 8 innings and just can't get any runs. But I mean, what else can you ask from him?
Well, you were at the game today. How frustrated were Giants fans?
Not bad. I mean, you can't really ask for much more than that. It was a good pitcher's duel. That's my favorite kind of game. It's just tough to see when you got bases loaded, no outs. You can't score any runs there. But
that was the first, and also in the first inning they had first and third with 2 outs. There was times in this game where they could have scratched out a run. Pardon me?
I know. Hey, but I think I'm the jinx. I went to the last game I went to. It was 0-0 extra innings, and Wilmer Flores had a walk-off walk. And this inning went 0-0 extra innings. I think so. Basically, I'm gonna give you a call, heads up next time, and everybody bet the under whenever I go to a game. Okay?
I don't think they're gonna let you in Oracle. Put it that way, Tony. They're gonna ban you from Oracle.
they might ban me.
All right, Tony. Hey, thanks for the call, Tony. I appreciate it. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Sam. He was also at the game. Sam, you're on with Bill Laskey on Sportsphone KNBR. What'd you think of the game today? How frustrated were you walking out of Oracle tonight?
What's up, Bill? How you doing, my brother? Good to hear from you. Man, look, I came in. I was vibing. Great weather. My seats were, for this particular game tonight, a few rows up from the third base line. I'd love to see that Matt Chapman. He jumped in the air like he was,
Beautiful grab. That was off of Cronenworth. at the top of the 7th inning, Logan Webb trying to keep that 0 on the board. That was a key grab right there. He got up too.
Yeah, that's why we got him for long term, and that's why we got his defense. But the question that you've been posing to the other callers is how their vibe was around me. They were, I mean, it was kind of, let's see what they got. And probably the biggest moment, I would say, the teachable moment because I'm the older fan amongst those I'm sitting around, and I'm teaching them things. And I would say the frustration was probably the bases loaded, the first and
second
third
inning
a couple different times. Yep. I said that was their opportunity. I knew then and there, Bill, that if they missed that chance, that they weren't going to have any other chances to really, really score. And
the other one too, Sam, is when it was first and second, and Adames almost got picked off, and they reversed the call and called it safe. I said, okay, there's the start. That could be the beginning. And then the walk comes, and it was bases loaded. I'm like, there you go. Now we just need a fly ball. Drive in a run. Get a base hit. Fitzgerald hit a bullet to third. Throws home. Beautiful play. And then the 5-4-3 double play. I think everybody's mouth was wide open. Mine was, because I didn't see a double play coming in, especially with Ramos, who's been your hottest hitter.
Yeah, Bill, all you needed was just to knock in that one. I thought maybe, and I'm not a hitting coach, I'm not a base running coach or anything like that, but look, Logan was wheeling and dealing. Machado struck out twice. Tatis struck out twice. But in reference to the bases loaded, all they had to do was bring in the runner from third. That's a play that we know from childhood, and that's not the first time you'll see it or the last. But I thought maybe they could have bunted or could have maybe hit the ball through the hole.
I don't think anybody's going to bunt right there. You have bases loaded. You got to give Fitzgerald an opportunity to drive them in. He had a very good road trip driving runs in. He had a couple hiccups on a couple times when runners were on base where he struck out, but he hit the ball well on the road trip. You had to give him that opportunity. The other thing, too, I'd like to ask you, Sam, in the 9th inning, after Bailey got the base hit and Fitzgerald went 2-0, he was trying to bunt. It looked like he took the bunt off, and he swung away and hit that deep fly ball to right center field. I was a little I didn't know if that was a good opportunity. Maybe he should have tried to bunt with a 2-0 count. They gave him the green light, and he ended up hitting that ball to right center field, and it really didn't do anything but just hang up there. And then a fly ball by Ramos and a punch out by Jung-Hoo Lee, and that inning was over. There was another opportunity in the 6th inning when Jung-Hoo Lee got a base hit, stole second base, and nothing came about it. Encarnacion pinch hit for Yastrzemski, and he grounded out to short. Opportunities were there. They had left 12 runners on base. Something's got to change. Somebody's got to hit better than what they're doing, Sam.
From the front office perspective, and I think Buster is the elephant in the room. He's the alpha personality in regards to making decisions. Something has to give. And if you recall, I called you maybe about a week ago, and I said, and I'm still sticking with this. I still have, and we know each other, we like each other. I'm passionate with this. I'm still going to stick to the 50 wins by July. But these are going to be reasons why they may not even get the 40 wins by losing these Robbie Ray games, losing these Logan Webb games, losing these Birdsong games. If they do not score early and they do not score 4 to 5 runs, this team will be back to winning 81, 81, 79, and you know what? And that's going to be and
it's a shame because you got the best you got the best bullpen in baseball. You're number 3 out of 30 teams with the lowest earned run average as a team earned run average. You might have to dip in here, and Buster might have to trade a couple of pitchers if he's going to get some hitters. The name that comes to mind right now, I had people text me last night, Dominic Smith, who who took his release from the Yankees. He's a first baseman, left-hander. I don't know if that's a name that's going to cause any kind of rumpus. He's got 34 home runs in the big leagues. I don't know if you're just going to start scrapping players like Farhan did and make this door swivel around. I don't think that's what Buster and Bob want. Something's got to give in this lineup, and somebody's got to get hot, Sam. But thanks for the call. I appreciate your time as always. Let's go out to Albany and talk to Steve. Steve, you're on Sportsphone KNBR with Bill Laskey on a Monday night. Tell me your thoughts about the game.
Hey, Bill, pleasure as always. Yeah, you just brought up a great point. The Fitzgerald non-bunt with a 2-0 count and a man on. I wonder who pulled that off the table, but that was strange.
Yeah, especially 2-0. 2-0, and the ball was, it was pretty much a good buntable ball, but they took it off and let him swing, and he just got under it a little bit. I would have loved to seen him drive that ball to right center field, on a nice line drive. Bob Melvin said in the postgame show there was a lot of hard-hit balls. I agree with him. No question about it. They just didn't find holes or over people's heads, especially in that 10th inning. Matt Chapman scalded that ball to third base. Iglesias made some fantastic plays at third. And then Encarnacion hit that bullet to first base, and Arise caught that. Those things happen in these games. Those happen in shutout games. But the opportunity that everybody's going to look at is in the first inning, first and third with 2 outs, and Yastrzemski punches out. And, of course, the second inning, the Padres gave you a rally for free with 2 walks and a hits by pitch, and you didn't even get a run there.
Yeah. So here's my question. As an ex-major leaguer, I'm wondering what your point of view is on this. We've probably the 2 most successful hitters this year are Flores and Ramos, and we can see they both use the whole field. They have no problem going to the right side, going up the middle, pulling the ball down the left field line. But then on the other hand, you look at Adames and Chapman. Chapman looks like he's trying to pull every pitch, no matter where it's at. They go on the outside corner or just off the plate outside. He's still trying to yank the ball left field, or he takes the pitch. He hardly ever goes with the pitch the right side or up the middle. Same with Adames.
Steve, that's a great observation. Excellent observation. And he used to go to right center field. He used to use the hole to right field. I'm seeing him miss those pitches on the outside corner like you're saying. He missed a couple of them today that were outside that he was going, but you're absolutely right. He looks like he was trying to pull everything, and you can't continue to pull a 98, 99-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. And most of these guys were missing the breaking ball. A lot of these pitchers that the Padres threw, especially Stephen Kolek, the starter, he was magnificent in what he threw today. 24 sinkers, 23 cutters, 22 fastballs, 21 sliders. So he kept them off balance the whole 5 2/3 he pitched. But they had opportunities, and that's what I'm going to continue to keep throwing out there, Steve. Opportunities need to get cashed in sooner or later.
Bill, what happens in the dugout? Does somebody like Flores ever go up to Chapman and say, "Come on, man, what are you doing?"
No, don't even think that way. No, they don't do that. It's not like high school or college where it's rah-rah. No, you're up there. You're looking at your iPad to try to figure out what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. I love when they do that. It's education of the game and what they're seeing on different pitches, the spins of the pitches, where their swing path is. I wish we had that back in the day. It is a teaching tool during the game. But no, nobody's hollering at each other. Look, the whole team is frustrated. They're not in a clubhouse party, and they're frustrated. They know these games should be wins. They know that the pitching staff is pitching lights out. It's just how they can maneuver and start hitting better. How can they get clutch hits? How can they get runs? Right now, I threw that number out, 15 consecutive games with 4 runs or fewer. That is not a good grade right there.
No. All right, Bill, thanks a lot. Appreciate it as always.
Yeah, appreciate the call tonight, Steve. Let's go out to Gary. He's in Newberry Park. How are you, Gary?
Yeah, a little disgusted, Bill. I think you say we need to make some changes here. I agree with you. We need to get a first baseman who can hit more than Wade. I would take Encarnacion and give him an extended length of time there. And in right field, Yastrzemski's 3 for his last 42. How much more time are you going to give him out there?
And they're put him in the lineup every day, righties and lefties. His swing path is exactly what he got in trouble with last year, the elevated fastball or the breaking ball out of the zone. He swings through it, or little pop-ups. I loved what he did on the road trip. He pushed the ball to left field. These guys have to get a better approach in putting the ball in play. I always say, make contact, put the ball in play instead of trying to drive it. We've talked about this years back when Farhan and Gabe Kapler were swinging off their tail to try to hit home runs. Now they're shifting back, putting the ball in play, making contact. But when you're looking at a team, and they've had 500 strikeouts already this season, 501 coming into this season. The Padres had 392 strikeouts. So, you're seeing more strikeouts now. And I still go back, put the ball in play, Gary, and see what happens.
Well, when they send Matos down, Melvin says he has to play every day. Well, I agree with him, but why don't you let him play up here every day? We need help in San Francisco, not in Sacramento.
Well, that was kind of like on my open there, Gary. I said, the guy hit a 3-run home run and wins the game for you, and you option him down saying, we want you to play more. There is going to be opportunity. Why isn't there opportunity now? Like you said, Yastrzemski's struggling. You're going to put Encarnacion in right field. That is going to be a problem. He is not that great of an outfielder. You're relying on Gerard Encarnacion to spark this lineup. Today, the breaking ball, if you saw it as well as I did, he didn't even sniff the breaking ball. He's all red, dead red fastball. But I don't know. It's going to be a struggle for him, because if I saw it, you saw it, and the Padres are throwing it, what do you think he's going to see the next 3 games? All breaking balls.
The sad part of this, Bill, is that they've got really great pitching, like you said, starting and relieving, and it's being wasted.
Whew.
And these guys are going to break down under the strain of having to pitch under conditions where they don't get any run support.
But Gary, isn't it just remarkable watching him pitch? I mean, Randy Rodriguez has just been phenomenal. The bullpen, every guy's been phenomenal. Even what Ryan Walker went in there with the ghost runner. Sure, he's looking to punch somebody out. He got a nice 1-2-3 inning. Sure, they got him over on a bunt and got him in. I know you maybe wanted Duvall to come in, but he just got done pitching an inning and a third. There's no way he's coming in this game. So you went with your other closer, Ryan Walker. He almost got out of it with a little fly ball to left field. But the Giants couldn't get that run back with the same ghost runner. That's where you got to come back and do the same thing. They had to run her on third with 1 out. They just couldn't do it.
What would you do to shake up the offense? Let me ask you.
There's really nothing to do. I like what Bob Melvin's doing. He's changing the order. He's trying different guys in different positions. I like that. I think he's trying to be creative. In his post-game, he said, look, we're all frustrated, and they are. They're trying to win. They're grinding, and I think that's the biggest issue. When you're grinding hitters grind. They start squeezing the bat a little tighter. They're trying to do too much. You saw Matt Chapman in Miami go on a base hit trying to get to second base. You start trying to do more. And the opposite of trying to do more is do a little less and trying to get a base hit. Get a base hit. Next time up, try to get a base hit. Try to drive a ball. I'm not a hitting coach, but I know as a pitcher, when teams are struggling, I'm going right back at that hole in my scouting report time and time again until you prove me that you can hit that pitch. And I think that's what I'm starting to see. A lot of these pitching charts are showing breaking balls on these guys away, fastballs in, elevated fastballs, and changeups down. I think that's the spirit that they're going to have to crack.
Okay, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. Let's go back to San Ramon and talk to another Gary. Gary, you're on Sportsphone, KNBR on a Monday night with Bill Laskey. Giants lose a tough one, 1-0. It was tough watching this team lose another game and a shutout.
Yeah, especially after Robbie Ray had the same experience, on the road trip.
Saturday.
1-0
Yeah,
game.
Saturday. Both
It's,
Saturdays, Gary.
you know,
Both Saturdays they got shut out. They got shut out by the Nationals 3-0 in the second game of that road trip, and then losing 1-0 this past Saturday. So when you're looking at, 10 games, they were shut out 3 times.
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, you're right about Melvin. He's adjusting the lineup, moving people down. Like today, I really like what he did, moving Adames and putting another hitter behind Chapman. Maybe not Yastrzemski, but but you have Adames and Chapman back to back, and they're striking out too much, So that was one thing he did, and so yeah, you can't blame the manager. He's stealing, trying to get bunts down. That's not really vintage Melvin. Melvin was always waiting for the big inning with the teams that he's had, but. The other
Well, I
problem
think that whole coaching staff, Gary, that whole coaching staff's grinding, no question. They're out early, taking early BP. I'm going out there tomorrow to watch the game and talk to a few of the guys, and they're going to be out there early. These guys work their tail off. Fans don't understand how early they get to the game, watching film, doing tee work, doing soft toss. It's not like they're walking in at 3:30 for a 7 o'clock game going, oh, am I in the lineup today? No, they know they're not doing well. They're grinding. And this is something that sooner or later they're going to win a game 15-0, and everybody's going to laugh about it. But I want them to win some games 4-2, 6-2, 8-2, things like that, where they can start building some confidence with each other.
Yeah, it's one trend that's kind of alarming, Bill, is that they've lost 14 of 19 against teams over 500. And so that doesn't bode well going forward, and especially with the offensive struggles. Do you think Buster will move somebody in the bullpen or a starter?
I don't think anything's going to move right now. You're seeing some trades with minor leaguers. You're seeing some guys as extra players. This Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles, Reese Hopkins from Milwaukee are names coming up. The guy that I was throwing out there yesterday is Dominic Smith. He played with the Mets and the Yankees. He was hitting 385 in AAA. He took his release to be a free agent. He bats left. He's a first baseman, left-handed. He's still got some pop in his bat. But do you start taking flyers on guys? That's the next question. Do you start just throwing in a towel with the players you have, or do you start jumping ship and starting to see if you can change some faces on the roster? Luis Matos leaves today for Gerard Encarnacion. In my mind, I think Matos could have hit the ball a lot better than what I saw Encarnacion do today. The breaking ball is going to be heavy on him, and if he doesn't adjust, it's not going to look pretty.
Yeah, what do you think, with the great arms in the bullpen, what's that going to look like in August and September when those guys are just a little bit tired, Bill?
I don't think they're going to be tired. I think he has really managed them a lot better. Sure, they're getting in games, but they're doing one innings. Like, Randy Rodriguez is your superstar down there. He comes in, throws 13 pitches, 12 for strikes, punches out 2 guys, 8 sliders, 5 fastballs. He brings it at 101 miles an hour. That's the consistency. I think with all those arms down there, Bob and J.P. Martinez has done a fabulous job in like a puppet master. When can I bring him? When can I bring him in? Giving him a day's rest. They pushed Duvall for 2 saves with an inning and a third. Love that. I love that. The game when Bob only had 2 runs to work with in Miami, he used his bullpen. 6 guys came in. So he's doing his best to manage these games. It's just the offensive woes. He can't get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, my last.
Gary, thanks for the call. Appreciate your call tonight. Appreciate it. Let's go to Anthony in San Francisco. Anthony, you're on Sportsphone KNBR on a Monday night. Giants lose a tough one in the first game of a 7-game homestand. How are you?
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
Well, just feeling some calls. I think everybody's the same way, just frustrated. And just like what Bob Melvin said and Logan Webb said, everybody's frustrated. You don't want to lose. And to lose these gems that these starting pitchers are throwing, that's the heartbreak. That's the hard one right there.
Yeah, I'm a little frustrated for a different reason. I hear a lot of analysts talking about Encarnacion coming in and being our savior offensively, and I guess I just don't see it. He's got 8 career home runs. I hear everybody talking about the power he brings and this and that. 8 career home runs. I hit that many home runs.
Yeah,
in
AAA,
so.
Anthony in AAA, he hit well. He played in 7 games. He was 8 for 23, couple home runs, 5 RBIs. AAA pitching is so much different than the big league pitching, and he came in with one of the best bullpens in baseball. The Padres are 9th or overall, where they're 6th overall in their bullpen. They're 9th overall in low earn run average. Their bullpen was lights out today. When you're looking at Estrada, Adam, and Serrars, they were just throwing bullets, and then the breaking ball. I mentioned it on a couple of calls. He looked terrible on the breaking ball. He wasn't even seeing the spin, and 2 of those pitches were out of the zone. He just swung at, whiffed them, and that's got to get better. And you can't just get down on him in one game. But if I'm seeing it, you're seeing it, and the Padres are throwing it, that is a huge scouting report that he's going to have to adjust to.
Yeah, I got a buddy who, we're real big Giants fans, and he's telling me, wait till Encarnacion comes back. I'm like, why? What's the point? And he tore it up in spring training. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't translate to Major League pitching, He's unproven in Major League.
And he hasn't seen Major League pitching. I keep Anthony, I keep throwing it out there. AAA pitching is not like big league pitching. It is not. That's why they're in AAA, most of the guys. Big league pitching are the guys that have been in the big leagues 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, and they can spot a pitch. They can put a fastball inside and go back outside. They can change your eye level by putting a ball over your chest and then hitting the bottom corner. This is what big league pitchers can do. They're like bullet throwers, and the better they get, the more they're in the game. They know how to adjust to you, adjusting speeds, getting you to jump on a changeup and then throwing a fastball by you. Look what Logan Webb did today. Logan Webb was a master at that today with his changeup and his sinker and his sweeper. It was fabulous tonight. I enjoyed watching Logan pitch today.
Did you see Logan's facial expression when Casey Schmidt struck out on that egregious ball 4 at the end of the 8th there?
Yeah, it's frustrating. That camera picks up a lot of things, and it's just frustrating because you work your tail off and you get a no decision. It's like a workout. That was all the things we used to say. Tomorrow pitchers would say, nice workout. It's frustrating. He's out there trying to get wins. He's 5-5. Earned run average now is a 2.5. He has been battling every time out there. Had a couple hiccups his last couple starts. I was looking for him to throw something today, and boy, he came out and he was masterful, and I'm going to continue to say that. That's your ace. Robbie Ray is ace number 2 or ace plus. This rotation is good. The bullpen is good, but somehow these hitters got to save them.
Yeah. I know one thing I wanted to end on. I just wanted to throw it out there. I'm actually from Yuba City. I don't know how the mix-up happened saying I was from San Francisco, but me and a couple of buddies went to the A's game in Sacramento tonight, and the Giants got a problem because that A's team's they're not good. They're sub 500, but going and watching them get, creamed by the Twins is still more entertaining than watching the Giants not score runs on a daily basis. And you can go sit in the 10th row for $30 there behind home plate, in Sacramento and watch Major League Baseball for pretty cheap.
Well, Anthony, you're closer to Sacramento, though. I'm sorry, I'll never trade going to Oracle Park rather than going to Sutter Health Park. I won't trade that any day. I'm sorry. You can go watch the A's play and the Twins play. I'm right here at Oracle Park watching the Giants play the Padres any day. But I'm glad you called in. Enjoy going to those games. Enjoy baseball because every fan should go out and watch Major League Baseball, whoever it is. Baseball's a fun sport. Thanks for your call. Let's go to Pete. Pete, you want to talk to me? It's on Sportsphone KNBR with Bill Laskey. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. I got somebody you need to talk to. Hey, Bill.
All right,
Tony.
fire away.
Hey, I just want to say, what's your take on the Ghost Runner?
I never liked it. I hate it, to tell you the truth. I'd rather have it go 10, 11 innings and maybe the Ghost Runner in the 12th inning. You took out extra innings, and extra innings in baseball as a player, as a pitcher, I loved extra innings. It was a battle of bullpens. Now you will end up losing a game on nobody getting a hit, nobody getting a walk. You give a Ghost Runner on second, and you end up losing the game on an unearned run. I do not like it at all.
I agree. I think the pitch clock solved the problem. I wasn't a fan of it at first.
Love that.
But it solved the problem.
Yep.
The games are quicker, and there's no need to do extra innings. I'm sitting next to Curtis Parch right now, the former baseball pitcher, and me and him both know baseball pretty well, and we're on the same page here. He wasn't as good as I was.
Yeah, I just don't know why. Pete, let me ask you something. You go to a baseball game, if it's nothing after 9 innings, man, I'm still on the edge of my seat. I don't need a Ghost Runner to dictate a great pitching game by both teams to end up losing a game. on a runner that's not even supposed to be on the field.
Amen to that. It's ridiculous. And you know what? We pay a lot of money to go to those games, and I would have loved to see a freaking longer game than that. But hey, Webb pitched great. You can't complain. And
Sure
my last thing is call up Reitfeld.
They all did. They all did. Rodriguez, man, he was lights out for an inning. Even Ryan Walker did well for that little inning he was in. It was just the way the ghost runner works, getting him over to third and getting a fly ball. Giants had the same opportunity. They hit 2 bullets. Both of them were caught. But thanks for the call again. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your time. Have safe travels getting home. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back with Brooks Knudsen. Of course, he does a podcast for Pitchers Park Pod. We're going to get into some discussion about this and some other things. So coming up next with me on Sportsphone KNBR, we'll have a quick guest, and we'll finish up the show. But right now, Giants lead 1-0. They finish out going 33-27 after that loss. And they're going to do it right back at it tomorrow. So we'll have another game, 6:45. Landon Root's going to get on the hill for the Giants. So we'll take a quick break. Come back with more right here.
This is just, it's part of baseball. You go through stretches where pitching might not be great, the defense might not be great, or the offense might be great, but it's getting through those things, and you hope it's 3 or 4 days, and sometimes it lasts a little longer, but at the end of the day, it's all we have is each other in this clubhouse, and we really believe in this group that we have. So
back on Sportsphone KNBR on a Monday night with Bill Laskey. That was Logan Webb in a post-game show talking about the strength and all the things that they believe in that clubhouse. And like you said, we're looking to turn it around. We're looking to get better. And, what could Logan Webb do more than what he did tonight? What a performance he put on against the San Diego Padres, going 8 innings, 6 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts, threw 102 pitches, 71 for strikes. And you hear me all the time talking about first pitch strikes. He was phenomenal today. 24 first pitch strikes with 30 hitters. 10 ground balls, 6 fly balls. That is your ace. Him and Robbie Ray have just been putting performance on consistently. All right, so we're going to open it up and talk to my good friend. Of course, you can hear his pod on Pitchers Park Pod with Jeff Young. Let's bring in Brooks Knudsen tonight. Brooks, how are you tonight?
Hey, Bill. Good to be back on with you.
Yeah, frustrating loss. A lot of Giants fans are frustrated, Brooks. I think you are covering this game daily, as I do. What is going on with the offense? What do you see?
I mean, it's a bummer tonight when you do 3 out of 4 things right and you still lose, right? They played defense, starting pitching, relief pitching. They all did their job, and then the offense just I mean, 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position, and one of those hits only moved the guy to third because it was an infield hit. And it's just, if there's anything they can do wrong, they're doing it right now at the plate. And it is part of baseball, like a lot of callers were saying earlier tonight, and it's frustrating. But right now, you asked me, how do they, what am I seeing with the offense? Like, what can they do about it? The big dogs that aren't going to go anywhere, those are the guys that actually got to get it going. Like, there's a couple of interchangeable parts in this lineup, and you're going to see those guys, swap out with different players. We're already seeing that with Encarnacion in the fold. But the main hitters that are going to be in there every day, it's kind of on them to start picking it up. It can't just start looking at, they need to swap out this position and that position. And, the numbers, Bill, back it up. If I can just kind of walk you through this real quick, the opposing pitchers are having a game plan against the Giants, and they are executing big time.
Yep. So I was talking about that earlier. Yeah.
Oh man, it's like
it's true, Brooks, because and you just said it perfectly. Because as an ex-pitcher, I'm watching a game. I'm watching guys swing at breaking balls. I'm watching guys swing at changeups. Why would I throw you a fastball when you're not even making good contact off of the secondary pitch? I mean, Encarnacion, sure, he hasn't been in the big leagues. He's had a few games. Only played 7 games in AAA. He looked terrible on a breaking ball. Both of them, he went 0-2 on 2 breaking balls that weren't even strikes. And then Schmidt swings out at a full count pitch. There's a lot of them that are doing it. You just can't put a target on one guy. The at-bats are growing with inconsistent swing past to certain pitches.
Yeah, and you mentioned Encarnacion. It almost was like the tough way to kind of get back in. He's been waiting how many months for this moment, right? I mean, he had the ground out against a lefty, but that at bat against Jason Adam was like, hey, I can be the guy, I can be the hero, and he was in swing mode. And guess who knew it? Jason Adam and the pitching coach for the Padres were like, all right, don't give this guy anything. He'll get himself out. And that's okay. And I go back to your core lineup here. Willie Adames has a 139 batting average against sliders, and he's striking out at a 40% clip against sliders. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to toe around the strike zone, but then when it's time to get him out, it's tough, Bill. He's not even swinging at sliders slightly out of the zone or in the zone because he's just waiting for the fastball because he's almost giving up. I mean, I don't want to speak for the guy, but it looks like he's given up on trying to even swing at a slider. Please don't throw me a slider. I'm not going to be able to do much with this right now. We all know it. So that's been tough.
The other thing, too, Brooks, I think, Brooks, and one of the callers said it, why isn't Chapman going to right field more? Why isn't Willie Adames going to right field with a slider? Good hitters, when I threw sliders, they'd go to right field. They wouldn't try to pull that pitch. When you try to pull that pitch, you're thanking him because it's going to be a ground ball or pop-up. On outside corner, if you cannot adjust going into the opposite way, I'm going to get you 7 out of 9 times, 8 out of 10 times, because you're going to roll it over. When I threw sinkers and sliders, when I'd see a guy try to pull those, I'm going to continue to throw it until you make an adjustment. These guys are not making adjustments.
Right. It's kind of like Mike Trout's approach at the plate where I'm going to pull breaking balls, down the left field line, and then anything with extra velocity, fastball, any, sinker, anything like that, I'm going to spray it the other way to right field. And, he's been pretty good at hitting, I'd say. So
yeah, I would think he's up there. Yeah, it's just, when you look at this with the sample size, and we're talking about Encarnacion, a big dude. I mean, he's got a long swing. He should be able to hit the outside corner. He should be able to adjust going the opposite way. He had a bullet to first base to end the game, And Kruk and Kuiper talking about him going the opposite way. Well, you have to go the opposite way when you're seeing so many breaking balls against righties.
Yeah, I do want to give him credit on nearly tying the game because, he had a tough at bat against Suarez, and it was 102, I think, and that was the ball he kept fair. Would have been down the right field line, so that was impressive. But, of course, Buzzard's luck for the Giants tonight, and it was right at the first baseman. So, and they cut the camera right to the dugout, and they're all, Ramos got his hands on his head going, no, man, this was going to be the perfect moment for Gerard to be like, yeah, I'm back, and that's baseball, right?
Brooks Knudsen joining me tonight. You can see him and read his work at Brooks, Brooks, Knudsen, Knudsen. He does a lot of good stuff on Twitter, or as they say, X. And he does a great podcast with my other good friend, Jeff Young, Pitchers Park Pod. And some good stuff right there. But let's go to the pitching side. What can you say about Logan Webb? What a great gem game that you ended up getting a no decision for.
Yeah, I mean, he put it all out there tonight. And, last couple starts, kind of like, all right, we know you're not going to just start getting into a funk. You'll figure it out. And sure enough, this is a tough Padres lineup. So it's not like, just going against some bottom dweller team. I mean, Jackson Merrill is the truth, right?
He's hot.
And just dealing with guys that know him well too, like Tatis and Machado. They have like 30 plus at bats against him each. That's tough when like I have so many pitches and this guy has seen them all. So.
I tell you, the two pitches that he struck out Tatis on with those sinkers on the outside corner, he couldn't have thrown those better both times. Tatis watched him shaking his head. Those things were pearl sinkers on the outside corner coming off on the black. Whew, those were filthy.
The run on those pitches make you not want to swing at them. I'm not swinging at that garbage. Oh, it's in the zone, and I'm walking back. It's just he was filthy tonight. And when he's got it all going like he did tonight, you hate that pitch count is a thing because you're like, oh, just have him throw, 2 more innings. Logan, can you do the 9th? Can you do the 10th? I mean, obviously, the only thing, Bill, that Logan Webb did wrong tonight, he wasn't batting 9th. And because, old school, Logan Webb would have popped out the only run of the game, Giants winning 9.
Well, he would have been laying on a bunt also because a couple times that 9-hitter had to, and he didn't get it done. Fitzgerald, what'd you think of that at bat in the 9th inning when Bailey got the base hit? He goes 2-0. What do you think? Why didn't they continue to have him bunt?
I think they just get so excited for, extra base hit. I mean, Suarez is a tough cookie, right? You're going up there going, all right, this he's throwing 100 and 101 and then 102, and it's just like he's nuts. But I think it's probably low confidence that they would be able to get the bunt down. Bill, honestly, it's like you've seen it before, right? Oh, we're trying to bunt. Oh, he's popping it up, and the catcher's got it. Okay, that was a waste. I think they, in their mind, they just psych themselves out and say, just pull one down the line, whatever. Kind of what our Encarnacion did in the 10th. Just try to spray it the other way, but I don't know. I mean,
just didn't
Bailey
work,
getting the hit
and
in
you
the
start,
ninth,
Brooks, you look at numbers, I look at numbers. They're always throwing numbers at us, and all the analysts. And 4 runs or fewer in 15 consecutive games at a big league level, that kind of scratches my head. And the numbers I was throwing out there, they got 18 runs on the road trip, and they gave up 18 runs, and they go 4-5. And that should have easily been a winning road trip when you're only giving up the opposition 2 runs per game.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been an avalanche that did them in, right? Had they not had such good pitching during the stretch, and starting to feel a little bit like the 2011 Giants. Every night they had Timmy and Kaner and just having these brilliant outings. Bumgarner, and then the offense. They had more of an excuse because they had key injuries to Posey and Freddie and everybody, but. Man, that was tough to watch back then because you're like, man, you're just wasting all these great pitching efforts. And it doesn't get much worse than 1-0, because 1-0 is just like, really? We gave up one? Jeez. So, yeah, again, where do you go from here, right? Because
that's my next question to you. That was my next question to you. I just want to say Brooks Knudsen on the same page. Brooks Knudsen on with me for a couple more minutes, and that was going to be my next question with you, Brooks. So you turn the page. It's a bad taste in your mouth on a Monday, and you got to go right back at it tomorrow. And Landon Roop, who's just been pitching brilliantly in the month of May, 1.73 and 5 starts. Everything's been well for 21 strikeouts, 6 walks. He's going up against a tough Padre lineup. You had mentioned it. But when you look at the statistics they're pretty equal, but you don't see it. When you look at their lineup and you see the Giants lineup, I always think that override of that top of the lineup, when it goes 9 and it comes right back to Tatis on number 1, that is tough for any starting pitcher, that if you don't get that 8 or 9 hitter up, you got to contend with the top of the order. Logan Webb did a very good job with it tonight.
Yeah, and just, the rest of the series ahead of him, right? It was such a dogfight tonight. You throwing, hitting guys in the hand. He's hitting him in the hand. They hit him in the hand. They're all frustrated, and chin music and crazy plays. I mean, it was Suarez pitching 2 innings out of, in the 9th and 10th, and I was not expecting him to come back out. They both wanted this game. Like, this rivalry is kind of like takes a back seat to the other rivalry, of course, but it's still there, and they both want to to kind of make their statement. And
there's no
you're right.
question.
They are kind of
there's no question. The NL West. This is how it is when you're playing each other. It's going to be dogfight. The Padres moved their rotation up when they went down there earlier in May, and they took the first 2 games to change their rotation to go against a hot Giants team. Today, a younger pitcher threw today. Tomorrow, a real young pitcher's throwing, Ryan Bergert, and he's been in the minor leagues. He's 25 years old. He's only got 4 innings coming into big league games. They've all been 1 inning, 4 times. So he gets his start tomorrow. He had 9 starts in AAA at El Paso Chihuahuas. 0-1 with a 3.7 run edge. Here's a pitcher that they don't know much about. They'll probably get AAA reports, but here's a guy, mount an attack and get after this guy early.
You already know the story, Bill. I got my buddy Robbie Lewis listening right now, and I know he would say this right now. Oh, Ryan Bergert, guy they never faced before? Yeah, he's going to be Cy Young tomorrow. Because the Giants, against Joe Nobody, I swear, they historically like for decades just, can't hit that guy. Give me like Max Fried right now or somebody. Like I'll get that guy, but not Ryan Bergert. So no, I'm hoping they can flip the script.
But you know what Brooks is you go after those two. You go after him, and then you're right back to Nick Pivetta and Dylan Cease. So something's got to get here, because Pivetta has just been pitching lights out. He's 6-2. Dylan Cease always gives him a problem, and he's not doing real well this year. He's 1-4 with a 4.6, but he's still got that big league knowledge.
That's because he hasn't faced the Giants enough, Bill. No, I can't.
No, come on, Brooks, you can't do that. You can't go there now. Come on.
Can't kick them when they're down. I know. Well, they better figure it out before the series at Coors Field right now, because the Rockies got a little new shakeup. They got Tyro Estrada, they got Orlando Arcia. So don't make me think the Giants are going to get outscored by the Rockies next week. I can't.
And they won their 10th game today. They beat Miami. They won their 10th game. Well, Brooks, thanks for joining me on a Monday night. I appreciate your time, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, Bill. Likewise. Thanks for having me on, and maybe score some runs tomorrow. That'd be a good start.
Hey, let's do it. That was Brooks Knudsen, and you can follow him at Pitchers Park Pod, and I appreciate his time on a Monday night. Giants lose 1-0 today. They fall to 33-27. The Padres are now 34-24. Tomorrow, 6:45, Landon Roop takes the hill against Ryan Bergert, and that's going to come right here on KNBR First Pitch. For Bill Laskey, have a great rest of the night. I appreciate all the calls today. Appreciate Raph running the board and producing the good show, and overnight Dave picking up all the phone calls. It's always a pleasure talking to Giants fans. I'll do it again Friday as I do the post-game show on Sportsphone KNBR. And, of course, I do the post-game shows Extra Innings on Saturday and Sunday and that's all coming up when the Braves come to town. Have a great rest of the night. More coming up right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.